Onion News Network.
Yo, what's going on, world? This is CopBlockRadio, and we're live. It's Wednesday, May 27th, 2015, and I'm Derek J. So good to be with you. We don't have Dio on the line, not quite sure why, but we'll get him. And we've also got a very special co-host, Michael King, will be joining us in the later segments. Coming up, I want to talk about a mother who has been... Well, she was shackled for the crime of her son's truancy. Very strange situation, but it's true. We were just talking about it on Free Talk Live moments ago. You can catch the show, forgot to mention, over at lrn.fm, or if you want to watch the show as well as interact with other listeners at our website, you can do that. It's all free at copblock.org. Just click the link that says watch show live, and you will be directed right there. It's copblock.org/show. Also, want to make sure that I give a quick plug to the store, copblock.org/store, to pick up some cool gear like shirts and hoodies and sweatpants and hats, stickers, and all kinds of cool stuff. Looks like we are joined by Michael King. Hey, Michael, are you with us?
Hey, Derek, how are you, man? I'm
very good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, living life here in the free world. You know,
you look like you're in an underground bunker.
I could change the lighting if you need me to.
Yeah, it looks like you've got the Al Qaeda special going. So.
Oh yeah. I might be linked in. Give me a sec, okay?
You don't have to change the lighting in this segment. We'll wait till the next break. But I want to know. Dio approached you about co-hosting the show tonight. What's that about? Is Dio not showing up?
I mean, I don't know, sir. I was at work earlier today, and I got a message from him at like 12 o'clock, and he's like, "Hey, Michael from Rhode Island. Me and Ademo came on your show, and why don't you come on our show tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Or what are you talking about? An interview or something?" And he's like, "No, maybe a guest co-host spot." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I like it. The more the merrier. And with guest co-hosts, it's nice. Like Michael Fiend from Freedom Fiends is sort of discovering this. The more co-hosts you have, the more bus-proof your show is. So if I were hit by a bus tomorrow, I know that Michael could jump on the microphone and keep the show rolling right along. So that's pretty rad.
Sure. If I get punched in the face, you can talk along for me. So
I don't expect that's going to happen. Not this episode, at least. Hey, did you hear about that mom who was arrested and shackled because her honor roll son had 3 unexcused absences at school?
I did, man. I did. I mean, when my parents or guardians or state guardians were lucky enough for me to go to school, I was lucky to catch D's, and they were never imprisoned. I think that if I was ever on honor roll, that would have been a very gracious thing and a very unexpected thing. And
yeah, like that's sort of the point Ian was making tonight on Free Talk Live. Like, if you've got A's and B's, why do you need to still show up to this school? I mean, shouldn't your punishment be contingent on whether or not you're actually learning anything? I played hooky a lot in school, and my mom used to threaten that she was going to get thrown in jail over it. And I laughed it off like, it's not really a thing. But it turns out it's not just happening at schools across the country, but it's happening to multiple parents at this one very school, which should be a note to parents not to send your kids to these schools anyway. Because what are we doing talking about a mother and school on Cop Block Radio, except that a mother has been arrested for not sending her kid to this school. It's almost like jail to me. Like schools are like these little prisons, and they're built by the same people who build the prisons, and they're often paid for in the same way through tax dollars. But they teach conformity. They punish people who are not acting inside the norm. And I forget my other point about public schools. I don't know, just that they reward conformity.
I was in public, well, I suppose in and out of public and alternative schools for about 13 years. And I was unhappy the entire time. Maybe I beat a different drum than most people do, but even at the time when I was into sports and music and you're smoking weed and your typical high school kind of stuff, girls, whatever.
Yeah.
I still beat to a different drum, and I was very unhappy with being told what to do. And, you know, mind you, I didn't understand anarchism at the time outside of punk rock. Like I was a punk rocker as a kid, and I just assimilated anarchy to that, you know, that notion, to that school of music. And I had no idea what it meant. I didn't even know that it meant no government. I just kind of thought it meant anti-authority because Sex Pistols or something. And
God save the Queen.
Yeah, pretty much. And what I know is that I was horribly unhappy in school, and I did not fit in with even the kids who smoked weed and did the kind of stuff that I did. I still didn't fit in with them. My teachers, I did have the occasional teacher who liked me and liked my personality, but they never tried to teach me anything. I never learned anything aside from, well, how to feel bad about myself and how to feel like I'm in a cage and how to take a fucking I mean, I don't know if I can swear, I'm sorry. You know, how to take a standardized test and how to conform to certain narratives and notions that are preconceived and based in cookie cutters. And even before I was a philosophical anarchist, even before I understood Socrates or Rothbard or, you know, whatever it is,
Socrates and Rothbard, do they inspire you as a cop blocker?
Yeah, both do. I would say yes.
That's cool. Have you been doing some cop blocking this week?
This week, no, nope. I actually just started a new job, and I was forced. I don't know about forced. I gave a cop a free coffee this morning. As a matter of fact,
you gave a cop a free coffee. Why?
I did.
Nothing's free. You gave him a paid for coffee.
well, under these circumstances, it was paid for by the company. Yes.
Yeah. If you're reading your Rothbard.
Okay. I just got a new job very recently at a very popular gas station in this mooring ocean dock town that I live in, and okay. They give free coffee or iced coffee or iced tea to any state agent in uniform, whether it's a police officer or okay, cop, not police officer, whether it's a cop or a firefighter or a mailman or a mail lady, whatever. Any state agent in uniform, they give free coffees to. And I voluntarily agreed to take a job with this company, so I have to abide by their rules if I want a paycheck. The thing is I'm kind of working on changing and improving my life, potentially getting to New Hampshire, and
woo! Yeah, you should do that.
I need cash, and like this company wants me to abide by their rules, and I agree with.
No, I get you. You know, you make compromises. You can't just have freedom right away tomorrow. Apparently, you have to compromise with people who still work for the state.
Sure.
In these corporations. So you've got a job. You have to give free coffee away to a cop who wanted it. Was it so bad? Did he thank you for it? Did he try and cut you?
Honestly, the guy was on his phone. I didn't have words with him at all. He was like talking on his cell phone.
His coffee and walked away.
Pretty much.
Did you spit in it?
No, I can't. There's 1,000 cameras everywhere. I couldn't if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. It's a coffee, like.
I'm not suggesting that you should.
No, sure, Derek. I don't think that you would.
It's a thought that crossed my mind, so it came out.
I don't think that I would. It's a coffee. Like, I wouldn't be so. I can speak freely, right? This is after hours. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't be so upset if the guy kicked in some stranger's door and the guy shot him in his head. I wouldn't be so upset about that. However, if the guy comes into go ahead.
This is CopBlockRadio. We'll be right back. Yeah. All right, we got a 4-minute break. I'm gonna try and get in touch with Theo.
Should I switch here? I can make this better, man. I have not a studio, but
Yeah.
all right.
Whatever you want. We've got 4 minutes. I'm gonna smoke and make sure.
Thanks for having me on, dude.
Okay.
FM. That's CopBlock.lrn.fm.
What if the key to achieving liberty in your lifetime was to move together with others who think like you? Liberty activists are joining the Free State Project, which is over 70% of the way to a goal of 20,000 participants. And they're already making the move to New Hampshire. The successes are piling up and are proving the Free State Project is a real movement and no longer just a great idea. When you're planning your move, consider Keene. Keene is famous for its civil disobedience and non-cooperation, and there's plenty of political opportunity as well. From demonstrations and vigils to outreach and volunteering, there's a lot going on in Keene. Is the liberty capital of the world with television,
Hey,
talk
what the
radio,
hell, man?
and more, all originating.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to take the night off, you got your son with you. You know, I understand. I'm holding it down with. No, spend time with your son, man. I don't want to pull you away from that. Oh, okay. Well, all right. The listeners want to know where you are, so I'll tell them you'll be here in a few minutes. Thanks, man. See ya. All right, everyone. Don't call 911. Theo's fine. Don't press the button on your Peacekeeper apps. Everything is okay. Theo has not been contacted by the government.
FM. You may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
Hey, did you join Gaynarchists yet?
No, I did not.
Sure.
I'm not gay, Derek J. First of all.
Yeah, but you don't have to be in Gaynarchists. First of all.
I do like Flaming Freedom, though. Pretty good podcast.
Thank you. Pretty good. How about try best podcast on LRN?
All right. My favorite podcast is Chris Cantwell's, to be quite honest. Oh, are we smoking weed? Is that okay?
I won't stop you.
Is that okay on air, or?
That's okay with me.
Sweet. Yeah, I actually like Cantwell's podcast the best, dude.
Yeah, I can see that. He's really good.
He is good. I like it. I like your shit too. Like your movies. Okay.
Yeah, his delivery is contrived.
For a free
He's got to work on that.
flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, Cop Blockers. Hey, this is Derek J. And Michael, do you have a special name? Do you go by Michael Fiend or Freeman?
I prefer Freeman.
Freeman. Good. Well, we got two Freemans on the land. I'm not, what are they called? Sovereign citizens, though. Are you?
I'm not. My initial government-born last name is King, and I kind of oppose those kind of guys, so I figured I would take on a different moniker.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be like, right. It's like Michael Archie. You don't want to be that. So, especially when you're an anarchist. So, all right. It's not always anarchists on this show, though. Mostly cop blockers. So I was out not doing cop blocking, but had the police come around, I would have certainly been recording them. I did some outreach at a high school recently. I made a little video about this and posted it to my website, thederekj.com. If you want to watch that at some point. Basically, I hand out flyers that say philosophy of liberty, and they have a little bit of information about self-ownership. I did this with a friend of mine, Ian Freeman, and it took about 3 minutes to hand out, I'd say a few dozen of these flyers, maybe about 50 of them, to students who were curious. And we plan on doing this as a weekly event. Well, apparently the school notified parents. They sent home a letter, Michael, to parents saying your child was inadvertently caught on video and uploaded to the internet by someone who was, at our school unauthorized, getting that information, and the police have been informed. So apparently the next time I go, the police are going to show up and probably detain me and ban me from this school. What do you think I should do?
Well, to be honest, dude, after watching your film, Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree, I was kind of already under the impression that you were banned from schools in New Hampshire.
I was. I'm banned from all Keene schools permanently, and I was banned from that Swansea school where you see me get detained in the movie for 1 year. But they'll probably make it longer this time.
Right, and I heard you guys talk about that on Free Talk Live as well. That's not really the kind of activism I'm going to do. I think that well, yes.
You want to reach the kids?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Derek. Yeah, we should try to reach the youth, right? Through the youth, there is revolt, and I'm a punk rocker by trade, and I fully agree with that. But I don't know, at this current point in time, the risks with going around schools and promoting anti-state propaganda the risks are really, really high. And you've already been banned from this.
It's not anti-state, it's pro-self-ownership.
Which is by definition anti-state, sir.
Yeah, but people, it's like you gotta tie a bow around it, make it pretty.
Dio.
Hey, look who's here.
Did Dio just join us via his car?
As I'm driving, I just joined you.
Damn, you're really phoning it in, man.
You talk about phoning it in. This is like phoning it in to the max.
Holy shit. And you're on video.
I just wanted to check in, let everybody know I'm on my fucking way, I promise.
We thought that the government got you, man. I swore. I was telling all the listeners the government got Dio, light up his phones.
There's this whole Jade Hell movement. I was really worried about that.
With all the shit going on in Cleveland, I could have been kidnapped by the government. They kidnapped 77 people out here.
Yep, they picked them up. What are you talking about? They kidnapped 77 people. Is that something that happened this weekend?
The Brelo verdict was brought down on Saturday. They brought court in on Saturday to bring this verdict to everybody.
What's the Brelo verdict? How out of it am I? What the hell are you talking about?
The case of Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams were shot 137 times in Cleveland on the east side.
Oh, yeah.
2012. Well, this is the only cop that they had to charge with anything, and they let him go, not guilty. So
are you fucking kidding me? What?
No, I swear to God.
He shot through the window. I remember this. It was a cop who, wasn't he off duty at the time, and he shot through the windshield of two innocent people, and they're saying this douchebag who nearly killed people for no goddamn reason is off scot-free? No punishment for him? No consequences?
He was on duty, but yes, he jumped on the hood. Out of 137 shots, he fired 49 of them.
Motherfucker!
Yeah. So, once they read the not guilty verdict, all the people that I know that are activists in the area went down to protest at the Justice Center, And we protested all day long. I was there all day long. Me and Ademo were down there all day long. They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. They marched down the streets, came back downtown. When they came back downtown, as soon as it got dark out, the cops came in and they cornered them in an alley and arrested 77 of them.
What about you, Dio? You safe? Have you been contacted by the government?
I have not been contacted by the government, but I'm telling you, I still want to contact them motherfuckers, especially down in Cleveland. Because this is ridiculous. We went and protested again on Sunday, and the cops were just like sitting there taunting and laughing and smiling at everybody. They were trying to write like with chalk on the sidewalk there, and the cop like dumped his water like right before the guy, like he was going down a line of them, chalking in front of him, and the cop dumped his water right in front, right before he got to him. And it was a taunting move, you could tell.
It's so petty how these chalk wars continue with people using water and chalk. Like, at least they're not getting bloody and using fists and pepper spray and stuff. But it is really weird to me to see these wars happen with water. Your cop is getting people wet. It used to be fire hoses, you know, like I remember seeing pictures of the black people in the 60s getting hosed down by these cops, and now they're using like garden hoses to stuff away.
Or just the bottle of water that they carry with them, you know?
Derek, didn't you get beat up for dancing?
Yeah, not specifically for dancing, but I did have an unauthorized dance party, and when I ran into a police car.
That's one of the most ridiculous things I ever heard, too.
I'm proud of having, you know, whatever. But, yeah, when I refused to get into the police car is when they considered me to be resisting arrest and decided that the right thing to do would be to put pepper spray in my eyes.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, it worked. So, compliance through force.
It's just insane going on here in Cleveland these days, man. I'm telling you, there was a cop at the protest on Sunday. He had like, you know, a tattoo on his forearm, like here, on both of them, and you could tell like he had it covered up with tape, but he had like you could tell like the first, you could tell like the first word was like VE. It started with VE, so you know it was like one of those Latin sayings that was like, you know, they can hate us as long as they fear us or some shit like that, you know. It was
Veritas?
Like
I don't know.
Yeah, I came, I saw, I conquered, or something like that. You know what I mean? So I try to ask him like, what's your tattoos say? I was like, I'm proud of mine. I'll show you. I'll tell you what mine say. What's yours say? He refused to tell us. And then later on, he was standing in the line that was like surrounding the protesters. What's up, Derek? Okay, we'll be back on CopBlockRadio after these messages. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Is not easy to define.
Yeah, good job, Dio.
Hey, I'm going to fuck with my dog for a sec, right?
Oh, wait a minute. Before you do, I want to make sure that the microphone that you've got plugged in...
It's not plugged in.
Oh, is that just for show?
It is. Like, it only works for an hour, so...
What?
I was on my way home, and I'm like...
I can plug it in.
I was on my way home, and I'm like...
What kind of microphone is it?
USB.
Yeah, who makes it? What is it?
CAD.
Dig your shit out of there. Leave it.
Huh. Okay.
How's that? See, now I can't hear you guys. It's retarded.
Well, go into the settings up at the top of the screen. There should be a little gear.
I didn't hear anything you said. I had to unplug it. Okay. The gear settings. Yep.
Yeah, and that's where you select what microphone input you want and what headphone input you want. I suspect that when you plug it in, that setting is changing, and it's changing your headphones to something you don't want. So just go back and change it to your headphones and change microphone to microphone. And I got to turn down my brightness.
How is this?
You're still coming through the onboard mic.
How much time we got, Derek?
We got 3 minutes.
All right, because I'm home. I'm going to go switch over.
Okay, cool, man. Thanks for calling in. See ya in a sec.
Hey, Derek, how's this?
Couple
Ooh,
minutes.
that's better. You're coming through the mic now.
Oh my God! Did you just? You know what? You came on my podcast like I don't know 4 months ago or something, and you showed me 10 million things, and you just showed me how to work my microphone.
Yay! Well, good. You sound better with your professional microphone.
I don't know if professional is the word.
But it's more honed in on your voice instead of getting all the ambient sound too.
Why, thank you, sir. That's pretty cool that Dio called in. Hey, do I have like 10 seconds really quick?
Yeah, you've got 2 minutes.
Instead of just listening, you can also watch. See the Liberty Radio Network's key New Hampshire-based live shows via our studio cam at cam.lrn.fm. Plus, you'll still be able to listen to the Liberty Radio Network via the cam feed in high quality 24/7, even when there's no live show being produced in our Keene studio. But wait, there's more. Our chat room is built into the cam page so you can interact with other listeners online. Listen, watch, and chat, all free at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand it's about.
Come on.
You can have a free market, making it just a free place to live.
It's the world's largest interest libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers.
Okay, we're coming back.
At 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
CopBlockRadio. Hey, we've got a call-in line that I've just set up for you. You can Skype in to the program. CopBlockRadio is our username. If you send a contact request there, it will be accepted, and then it'll be really easy for you to call in anytime in the future. You can also leave us a message any day of the week or call in live now by dialing 413-418-COPS. That's 413-418-2677. And it looks like we already got a voicemail. I'm not quite sure what this is. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try playing it. We'll see if, I don't know. Is this a caller? Do you hear this? I'm hearing something. Somebody left us a message of blankness. You can do that too. Dio joins us via Cleveland. Hey, Dio.
Hey.
I think our boy Straight Razor tried to call in earlier and left us a message of blankness. Maybe Straight Razor will give the call.
We still owe him a badge, man. He's got to call and give me his information.
You know he doesn't want to give you his information. He knows you're tracking him down. You're one of those cop blockers. He's afraid you're going to block him.
Hey, that's what we do, right?
Hey, did you write any articles this week, Dio?
Just about the Brelo thing, really.
And the Freelo thing you were just telling us in the last segment was 77 people were arrested after they found out some more bad news that there is no justice in the state justice system, and a cop who he did end up murdering those two people, right? They did.
Yes.
Die? Yeah. So a cop who murdered people walks free. Did color have anything to do with it? Was there color involved in this story? Is it like, oh, white cop kills black people?
For me personally, no. For other news outlets, possibly. But it's not really about that to me. It's about the fact that these guys are now operating with impunity. They've proven they've proven it's impossible to convict a cop in Cleveland. And you know, like I said, when we were at the protest on Sunday, they were laughing at people. You know, they were straight up. It was a big joke to them. You know, and it's really disgusting. Then they come out. First of all, they released the protesters on Monday. Then Tuesday, they come out with they've apparently come to an agreement with the Justice Department on this consent decree thing. And guess what they've agreed to stop doing?
I give up.
Pistol whipping people.
Oh wow! What a generous.
Before the Justice Department, Cleveland cops thought it was okay to pistol whip people.
Yeah, well that was all right. Isn't it okay everywhere? Hey, well I know who we can ask. We have a special caller on the line.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Straight Razor, is it acceptable to pistol whip a suspect?
Well, I would say no, but it depends on who you ask.
I'm mad at you, man.
Yeah. Obviously,
I'm mad at you, man. You throw your hat in the ring with these fucking murderers. I'm mad at you, man.
Why are you collectivizing, saying Straight Razor's throwing his hat in?
Because it's all part of the same hypocrisy. If you can't convict a cop here in Cleveland, you can't convict one anywhere, really?
No, he stands alone as the sole good cop. We need him.
I'd like to believe it, but still, it's very difficult.
Unfortunately, after last night's event, I have been verbally notified of possible termination.
I'm sorry to hear that, but not so sorry to hear that, because I think you are not so sorry to hear that, it sounds like to me, too.
What? I'm sorry to hear that for you, for your sake. I mean,
that's what I mean.
Disruptive to your life.
So I participated in some civil disobedience while in uniform, while on duty, working. And the reason I called in is it had to do with the school. I was working a school function.
Wow.
It was a graduation party here. And many vehicles were pulling up with, of course, intoxicated 18-year-olds. Imagine that.
Wow, shocking. At prom? I can't believe it.
Yeah. Now, these students were from a private school, so they had escaped the state's grasp for so long, and officers were wanting to arrest students who had bottles. I, on the other hand, I just couldn't see the point in literally ruining these kids' lives over a bottle of liquor. So instead, I would simply take the bottle and have them have their vehicles valeted to make sure they weren't driving. The event was 4 hours, so unless they were completely hammered, there's very little risk involved there. But basically, I was basically cop blocking for stopping other officers from arresting these teens and ruining their lives. I've been basically put on notice here, so.
Wow.
Okay, he redeemed himself.
Wow, that is heroic, Straight Razor. I'm
No,
blown away.
It's not. And that's the sad part. It's not heroic. It's common freaking sense.
Agreed.
Why?
It's common. It's not common sense. It's common decency.
A little bit of both.
It's common everything. The day after these kids graduate, you want to ruin their lives. Some of these kids are going to be beacons in our futures, and you wanted to snatch that all away because they want to get loose with some friends.
Sir,
on a night, not only that, but on a night when it's designed for them to do so.
To the caller, I'm willing to bet big bucks that those same LEOs who pulled over these kids who were trying to have a good time, when they were going to prom and they were graduating from high school, they were participating in underage drinking as well. So.
Exactly, and this was not a pullover type of situation. We were at a private venue. These vehicles were on private property when they pulled up, and most of them were Ubers. My only thing was, as I said, if a vehicle pulled up with open containers, like I said, I would take the bottle because I legally I can't stand there and watch them drink it. It's that's going to be very bad for me. But I would simply take the bottle, and if they were driving, I would have them valet. If they were really messed up, then I would basically make them Uber back, and they could take the keys with them if they return later. That was their deal. But just for overall safety, I just wanted to make sure nobody drove, and everything was fine. Parents were coming up, thanking me and another officer who had my back on this, and they were saying, "Thank you so much for not ruining my kid's life over this."
Wow. Well, you say it's not heroic, but I say it absolutely is. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for young people in this position. This is not going to gain you anything. In fact, it's done the opposite. It seems that you may have been terminated over your act of courage here, standing up for what you believe in and standing up for younger people who are more helpless than you. So thank you for using your power for good.
I'm gonna have to again just agree with the caller here that this is not an act of heroicism. This is not an act of valor or virtue. This is common decency, and all he's doing is what the common norm should be, and not trying to harm people for not victimizing others. And in my opinion, that's pretty commendable, sir.
Yeah, but how often, you say it's common decency, but how often, Michael, in your job are you confronted with moral quandaries like, am I going to take this action that I'm required to take and ruin another person's life? Typically, serving coffee, that doesn't happen.
Well, Derek, I'm not in the military anymore or anything like that. I work in a gas station, so I don't really have to deal with that kind of stuff.
Do I really want to sell this guy these cigarettes? Is probably
I'd love to hear more. I've got some questions for you about how you received this letter and what exactly you said to these guys when you were taking their bottles. If you're willing to answer them, can you hang on?
Absolutely.
All right, terrific. We've got Straight Razor on the line. This is CopBlockRadio.
This your family.
Hey, are we off?
Yes.
That guy's a cop?
Yes.
Oh, he's fucking awesome, dude.
He's been calling in for a couple of weeks now. And
what? Yeah, guys, I'm sorry.
We have a badge that he was supposed to get, but he never gave us his mailing information. So
I've been having some like some staggering fucking personal issues going on, so I haven't been listening lately, and I apologize for that. But this guy's a cop, and that fucking says something about what's going on here. What?
It definitely says something about his character as well.
I just agreed with the cop 2 times. What?
Dude, I got some things have been going on lately because I had trouble finding you guys' number, like if I just was on the fly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I save it in my phone, right?
Uh-oh.
I ended up leaving my phone in the locker room.
Hey, Derek.
And somebody picked it up and looked through the contacts to, find out whose it was, see if they could call.
Hey, sir,
mom or wife.
Hey, sir. My name's Michael, and I'm not a host of this show. I'm like a guest, I guess. I'm a 2.5 fucking combat veteran, and I hate. I don't even just dislike cops. I hate the entire institution of what they stand for. I believe that the entire institution are highwaymen at best, and at worst, violent maniacs. But you seem pretty.
At best, they're Straight Razor, man.
Yeah, but no. I'd like to say, Straight Razor, sir. You seem really reasonable and really pretty fucking chill, and I've never had a conversation with somebody like that before, and that's pretty cool.
Well, I think the reason for that is I was in the military myself also before I became a police officer, and I was injured, and that is when I found out how terribly horrible the government can be.
Yep.
It really, awoke me.
How they treat the veterans. Yeah.
Every single day for 3 months, someone would walk into my room while I was bedridden for 3 months.
Yeah.
Walk into my room and say that I was a worthless piece of shit because I couldn't perform my duties.
Yeah, dude. I was in launch stool for 6 months after I got fucking blown up. I have shit in my face and in my Achilles tendons and my back and shit. And I would also like to say though just so you don't take me wrong, I'm an anarchist, and I do absolutely not support the military in any way, shape, or form either. Like, I did that, and like that taught me a lot of things about real life and stuff, but I've moved on from those ideas, and I don't support that. I would just like to put that forward.
But it awakens you to what's going on.
Yes, yes.
Because before that, I was just a dumb kid that went along like, oh, there's nothing to see here. And
yeah,
then
exactly.
I was in the military, and I was like, man, there is something to see here.
Much like you being in the police or being in the military, like me being in the military or whatever. And I was active Army for 7 years and stuff. You know, as terrible as all that is, like what we can gain from that is seeing the monster from the inside, right?
Exactly. And I've, this is not the first time I've been terminated. It won't be the last. We'll see what happens. I haven't received a letter. I've received a verbal notification at this point.
Hey, man.
If I receive a letter, though, I will certainly send that in. That will be interesting.
Hold your thoughts. We are coming back in 5 seconds.
At updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
CopBlockRadio. Everyone, you can call in 413-418-COPS or Skype us at CopBlockRadio. We're talking with a very special guest caller, Straight Razor from Texas. Many times has called into the show to talk about his past experiences and has changed my view about police and about what is the new highest standard for policing. And unfortunately, having such a high standard may result in termination. That's
okay, though, Derek, because now he's ready to trade in his shiny badge for one of these.
Yeah. Well, I want to know, it's very disruptive to lose your job. You prepare so much of your life expecting a steady life. You expect everything every day to be pretty much the same. At least I do. I like building up jobs where I know what's coming. But for you, how has this affected you, Straight Razor, personally? I mean, are you going to be able to move on from this? What are you thinking is next?
Well, I've got I've met a lot of people and have a lot of friends. So really, I'll probably it's easy for us to move over into, either security or some other form of work like that. But ultimately, I would like to own a business. So I've been going to school for that just to get some ideas down, and that's probably where I'm going to go. And this is far from my first termination, so it probably will not be my last if I continue doing
Ademo has some work for you, man. He said that if there's any cops that want to quit their job and start their own thing and come to his door and say, like, I'll charge you $150 a month, and if anything goes missing, I'll find it for you, and or whatever your area of expertise may be, as far as policing goes, like finding lost or stolen things, or I don't know, chasing down murderers or whatever it may be, security, like you guard the house or whatever, like he would pay for that as opposed to being forced to pay for what the police offer nowadays.
Well, I think that privatizing is the way to go, because then you can choose what you want. It's not a blanket statement.
Yeah, your area of expertise, you can pinpoint.
These parents last night, they didn't want their kids arrested. They just wanted them to be safe. That's all they wanted. Mm-hmm. And why am I going to go against what the parents want for their children? That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, just while we got the little lull here, I want to tell you that my email address is now, thanks to my beautiful co-host Derek here. He got me hip to this lower third thing here, and I can put my email address in there. So you email me your address, and I will send you that badge that you have been waiting for. And the other question I got for you. Say again?
Get that email? Where can I get the email?
Oh, he can't see it, can he?
No, he's calling
Okay.
the phone.
Okay, it's deo@copblock.org.
Okay, that's easy.
Okay. And the other question I got for you is, you were always, before, you didn't want to tell us where you worked. Now that you don't work there anymore, can you tell us where it was?
If I do that, then I greatly hurt my, then I may have to move in order to find work.
Yeah,
if he tells you, he may have to kill you.
Maintain secrecy.
Well, I'll be.
Has been very good to us.
I'll be happy to wait for that letter he said he was going to send if he gets the chance to send it.
Can we take another caller? We're not going to kick you off, Straight Razor. If you can, stay with us. But it looks like we have a question from a caller in Oregon.
Sounds good.
Yeah, what's up? I was trying to see if I can get you guys on my headphones instead of my speakers. Here we go.
You sound very good.
We're always in your head. I'm using a condenser mic. But anyways, so I have a question for Michael King or Freeman. That was actually my question. How could you be a king and a free man at the same time?
Well, King is the government name, or my
slave
I don't
name.
know. I don't know, but if slave is the right word, but like the name that I was granted by my parentage that I never chose for myself, and
slave name.
I like the moniker free man. I'll be honest, I'm leaning towards no king because it kind of plays into my own granted last name. However, I'm D-food from my family, and that's why I choose not to use that.
I like it because it's like you're the king of your own life. You're the king.
Right.
Like, what about Daryl, host of Free Talk Live, says that he lives in the free state of Daryl.
Daryl, that's Daryl W. Perry.
Yeah. Well, he's got a 3-foot radius around him, and he's the president, and
I really like that.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck. Okay, well that was pretty much my question.
All right,
you guys doing good?
All right.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Glad to answer your question.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm sad that the department isn't going to have Straight Razor anymore. I'm thinking, like, he was such a moderating influence on them. Like, it's so much easier to do the right thing when someone else is willing to do it. You know what I'm saying? In a room full of people, you don't want to be the first one to walk up to a plate of food, or you don't want to be the first one to do anything. People want generally for someone else to break the ice. And
hopefully he started a trend in his department.
I would call that pack mentality or mass hysteria.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons why I think it's really good to have people like Straight Razor who are in departments, and I don't want to say like sell out, but like do the right. They are rule followers when the boss is around, and rule breakers in a good way, in a moral way, when the boss isn't around, so that this sort of thing doesn't happen, so that Straight Razors of the future don't get fired.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Well, there will be many more Straight Razors fired. What these guys, a lot of the guys realize that me being there is really good for them, because I don't respond to these, BS calls. I'm generally responding to calls where, there's some sort of really bad domestic dispute or child drowning, those sort of things. Calls that these guys don't like. You don't want to go and see a kid in a pool. Nobody does, unless you're, really sick. So, you pretty much know, okay, well, I'm not going to have to respond because I've got someone here who will. So it's going to be an interesting thing.
For every Straight Razor you kill, 2 more will take his place.
Well, he's not going anywhere. He's just been fired. He can get another job. It's probably really easy for someone with that skill set, like you mentioned.
Yeah, we're not talking about killing yet. The death wasn't mentioned. They didn't mention death in the letter, did they, Straight Razor?
Not yet. I haven't been threatened with death. Maybe
it was a metaphor, guys. It was a metaphor. Calm down. Calm down.
Well, we do have to get you some gear, so make sure to either
email me.
Yeah, just message do@copblock.org about that. I was talking about this truancy woman. Since we still have you on the line, I want to ask you about this. Have you ever encountered a person who has been arrested for truancy, for their child not going to public schools?
All states are a little different. I know most states now have the laws of your child must go to school. However, I kind of want to ask her why she didn't move to something private or even homeschool. If he's shows that much potential, why are you leaving him with the state?
Yeah, some people got to learn the hard way, apparently.
I think it's really, really unfortunate.
Guilty as charged.
And really, really unfortunate for those that I've seen arrested at board meetings. That is a rash that happens often because people get upset when you mess with their kids' lives. And when you have upset people all piled into one room, you can kind of expect that your 2-minute time limit is not going to be enough. So it's a wild phenomenon that's happening everywhere.
Well, I wish you the best, Straight Razor. I want you to have a prosperous and happy future in your next career. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us, and more importantly, thank you for acting.
Yeah, don't forget to email me too.
Later, dude.
The good news is that if I am terminated, then I can request the footage from that night, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know where to send it. CopBlock.org/submit. Hey, we'll be right back.
The headlines now.
This is CopBlock Radio.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
I want to tell both of you I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I had to miss that first section.
No, dude, that was actually freaking awesome when you came in the car. That's so like
I'm
that's
gonna hear
like
a passion of shit from a demo now because I'm fucking texting and driving. But
nah, dude, like this obviously isn't my show, but like I'm a viewer, I think, right? And like that feels very organic, and that's like I don't know. I thought that was super cool, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Hey, I want to thank you again, Straight Razor, while we got you before I, say goodbye to you off air. Hey, thanks so much for calling in.
Hopefully I didn't derail the show too much there.
Nah, man.
No, that
thing that could have happened. I'm
when
sorry
I was
for the job, but it was good for the show.
Dude,
Yeah,
from one veteran to another, man, you were pretty good, I thought.
when I was giving you shit in the beginning, I'm a little peeved at one of the because I had a guy here, Sergeant Peters, that I thought was like you. And he swore up and down to me all day Saturday when we were protesting that all he wanted was peace. And then when Ademo and Tom went back to the fucking protest to watch all those people get arrested, guess who was in fucking full riot gear leading the fucking riot cops to arrest these people? Sergeant Peters.
Yeah, Mr. Peace Talker.
Yeah, exactly. So it really pissed me off to have that happen. So I guess I kind of took it out on you a little bit, and I'm sorry. I'm just a sorry motherfucker tonight.
It's really hard to break the mold, I guess.
Sure.
Because there's so many people fighting to keep that mold together. Because see, they like like we were talking about earlier, the consistency. They like the consistency of being able to do what they do. And someone like me makes it really hard to keep that consistency because then all of a sudden, wait, I have to answer questions about why I'm ruining these kids' lives? That's never happened before. And wait, this guy's wearing a badge and a gun like me. Oh no, now what do I do? And just the looks on their faces are positively amazing when it happens. So it's going to be an interesting road, to say the least. And I'm sure that this wonderful police union will be there to back me wholeheartedly, right?
Yeah, they should be, right? They should be, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, considering that I've preached against them for years.
Yeah, but you've still been paying your dues, right?
Well, you have to. That was what I was preaching against.
Uh-oh, no. You can't talk about that.
Hey,
That's not allowed.
hey, Derek.
Yes?
Hey, would you mind if I plug my podcasts on the show?
No, please. I mean, absolutely. You're welcome to do that.
Well, could you maybe be like, hey, Michael's podcast or some shit like that, you know?
Do it. Just grab the mic and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it that way though.
Want me to set it up?
All right.
I need you to set it up, dude.
I guess if you don't want to do it, Derek, I invited him, so I guess I got to do it, right?
Yeah. Well, I got here before you, Dio. I don't really want to hear it. Okay.
Oh.
Dio.
The one day I'm late, really. Come on. Actually, it was 2 days. I'm sorry. 2 days, so I was late.
Dude, I've skipped my show like the past 2 weeks in a row. It's okay.
I saw some interesting posts online about CopBlock being attacked by multiple groups and trying to be declared a terrorist organization or some crap. Just on a quick Google search, so that might be something to look into. They're kind of new that I haven't seen before.
Send us a link.
I've been hearing stuff like that for a couple years now.
I'm looking into it now.
I'll be right back.
So I saw something like you need to call into this show to block them from doing what they're doing and all kinds of interesting things.
Like this show?
Yes. Call. It basically was having call into CopBlock to block them from doing the show.
Had that happen one time.
Because I hit you up in the chat.
Like tell your friends to call in and like maybe challenge Derek J or Dio or Ademo, like maybe present a fucking valid argument. Like maybe ask them to do that, please, sir.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it real quick, but let me see here. Forwardprogressives.com. CopBlock is nothing more than a racial anti-government.
Nice.
Oh my! Here we go.
We should make some plaques.
Okay.
Kind of funny.
That is funny. Can you send that to me somehow? I'll just Google it.
Yeah, it's not too far down in the results. I think the last one I see is December 2014.
What do they call it? A racist anti-government?
Yeah, racial anti-government. Let me see here. it's very ridiculous. How is it racial? So you get mad over white people getting hurt and black. You get mad over everybody getting hurt. So how is it all racial?
One more time. I'm sorry. Mind fuck. But Straight Razor, you're a cop, right?
Yes.
Whoa.
For the moment.
Whoa.
For the time being.
Hey, I would ask you to add me on Facebook, dude. My name is Michael King. Michael Freeman is like my moniker on there. Please add me on there. You seem like a pretty fucking cool dude.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows who he actually is, right?
He's.
I don't care. You use a sock account. That's fine. I don't care. I think we could have some good talks, man.
He calls in.
All right, gentlemen.
All right. Good to have you, Straight Razor. Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night, man.
Oh, so cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah. We're coming back in a minute and a half. So he's the man.
That really blows my mind. That guy was a fucking cop.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't know. I don't want to use the veteran privilege card, right? But I don't really have much of a choice. Like, I connected with.
You should save this for a minute from now. We'll start with that.
All right. Okay.
And then I'll plug your podcast.
Okay, but there's two, so. But that's cool. If you don't want to do that, Derek, that's fine too. It's okay. Like no big no worries.
I'm gonna. You ask me to. It's easy. I'll do it.
All right. So do I get another free T-shirt or?
Another.
No. You little bastard, ain't you?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Okay.
Maybe you can become a permanent co-host.
Yeah, that would be nice. You do a good job.
I would. I would do it.
Which, speaking of, Dio, are you on your mic?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Cool. Good. Good.
Has announced plans to put a schoolgirl on the boat by 2015.
Happy Memorial Day. Did you enjoy your weekend? Did you see any DUI checkpoints? We'll watch one video from a cop blocker who owned. First, I want to get some of your reactions, Michael, to our recent caller, Straight Razor. You had not heard him before on this program, but he is a frequent caller. He is a law enforcer in the state of Texas, and a heroic one, in my opinion, because he has the courage to go against the grain and stand on principle for morality, like not ruining people's lives, and instead pursuing criminals who actually are creating victims.
Yeah, Michael. When he first started calling in, we used to ask him, "Did you stop him? Did you arrest anybody for any victimless crimes today?" And the answer was always no.
Well, we did talk a little bit offline, and I think he said he was a veteran of the Army, which I am as well, and I would be lying if I said that I was proud of that. But Straight Razor seemed like a pretty reasonable guy. He was open to discussion and open to at least. And again, this, as Derek said, this was the very first time I have encountered this individual, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy. Like I'm not going to lie, the fact of what his job is leads me to believe that he commits heinous acts of violence against peaceful people on a regular basis.
Yeah,
However,
that's the cool thing.
Well, I'm led to believe, Derek, that if that was the case, like as Dio said when he calls in, you guys are like, oh, how many people did you arrest for victimless crimes? And he says 0. If that was really the case, I'm kind of led to believe that he would have lost his job a long time ago. And I know that that might be on the table right now.
Yeah, that is on the table right now.
So maybe I'm not entirely up to speed. I suppose.
Oh, you are. You've got it. But
he sounds like a really peaceful guy. He sounds like a guy that I can really relate to with my veteranism or whatever. However, I would say he needs to get out of there, and then he, much like me and my veteranism, he can use that as a tool in order to reach, LEOs and former LEOs or police veterans or whatever it is, and use that as a tool in order to, promote free society, which I think Straight Razor seems to want to accomplish.
Yeah, he's doing it. It takes more than just talking about living in a free society. To really live in a free society takes the courage to think, speak, and act. So you got to do all three.
Agreed.
I'm glad that Straight Razor is doing it. He's awesome. So anyway, I just wanted to get that little love fest on with. You do 2 podcasts. What are they called, and where can they be found?
I do, Derek. The main podcast that I do, and this is a co-host job. I came into this roughly a year ago with a friend of mine, Joshua Davis, JB. We are the most popular podcast by far on the Voluntary Virtues Network. It's called The Currency of Anarchy. We go live every Monday from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube on The Currency of Anarchy, and on the Voluntary Virtues Network it goes live with the edited version on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've had some big guests, Chris Cantwell, Jeffrey Tucker, Jeff Berwick, Who else have we had?
Me and Ademo, or was that the other show?
No, that's the other show, and I'm getting there. Okay, so my other show is my individual podcast. I found that on the Currency of Anarchy, I had to be a little more formal, and that's not exactly my style. I like to say motherfucker from time to time. So I launched my own podcast called Abolishing Authority with Michael Freeman, which you can catch on my own personal YouTube channel, Michael Freeman. The very first episode had Derek J, and the, I think, fourth episode was with Ademo and Dio, the cop block version, if you will. It looks like this Tuesday I will be incorporating a co-host. Her name is Nikki. You guys might know her as Liberty Doll on Facebook, or The Liberty Doll on Twitter, or thelibertydoll.com. And that's coming, and big changes are probably coming to that. I do a bunch of Facebook stuff and website stuff, but I don't care. So that's about it.
What about cop blocking? Do you go out and film the police?
I've been known to go out and film the police. Lately, Derek, I think you know this too. I've been having some personal issues going on lately, and a lot of big stuff in my life changing and happening. So lately, no, I have not.
Burn him. Burn him. He hasn't been cop blocking. It's cool, man. Most people in the world don't cop block at all.
I do right now. My premise is like, if I get into a scenario where police are in my geographical location, I will certainly film them. However, I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. I have more pressing matters right now.
Yeah, no, that's it. In my mind, people who go out and pursue the police in situations like where they're doing a DUI checkpoint, be major props. That's above and beyond, A+ and all that. But I'm saying, being a cop blocker, in my mind, is just adopting that couple set of skills that makes you a little less vulnerable in situations where the police are around, like video recording or live streaming when they're in your general vicinity. Like you just said, when they're around, you record.
Exactly.
We'd be safe.
Exactly, Derek. Like, when I'm in a club and they, a few months ago I was watching this band called the Coffin Cats that I really like, and a bunch of cops came and fire people, and I'm not even sure, like agents that check alcohol, maybe DEA, I have no idea, came in there and raided the place and checked their alcohol levels and the amounts of beers that they're selling, and I instantly pull my phone out and stream to Bamboozer, and that's just something that I'm going to do every time in that scenario.
Yeah.
However, I am not anymore going to go out of my way to do that. I feel that it is too far dangerous for me.
Yeah, nor do
I.
Like, that's not that's not for everyone. That wouldn't be a good life for everyone. That's only.
I used to, and I used to thoroughly enjoy doing it, and I obviously support CopBlock, and I will always keep police accountable when they are in my geographical location. I just find that for me personally, like, going out of my way to do that is asking for, especially here in Blue State, Rhode Island, it's asking for more trouble than I'm going to benefit from. And the way that I operate my life is with a cost-benefit analysis, is with a value judgment. And
I feel like you think I'm trying to pin you against a wall or trying to judge you for not cop blocking.
Derek J, you couldn't pin me against the wall if your life depended on it.
Well, here, I'll end it all right now, okay?
All right.
I do decide to go out and pursue these motherfuckers, okay?
Hell yeah, man.
At this point, especially after this fucking verdict and the way I saw these cocksuckers treating these protesters, I really can't help myself anymore. I want answers, and I don't give a shit what I have to do to get them.
That's giving them power over you, man.
I agree with Dio so much. I'm so fucking angry I can't explain it. However, at this current point in time, being angry and, I don't know, maybe committing acts of violence or whatever is counterproductive. All that's going to do is emanciate the fucking police state. All that's going to do is empower the militarization of fucking the guns and the tanks and the MPVs and the MPCs and all these MRAPs and all these fucking big guns that the cops have, right? When the anarchists come out, all that does is give the state fucking 10 times more reason to have big bombs, right? And I agree with you. Be angry and stop them from aggressing against you. However,
CopBlockRadio. We'll be back after these messages.
No, we got it. We left on Michael saying something that sounded awesome.
Okay.
So that was
All right. I just want to make sure.
All right,
got
fine.
it.
In this current paradigm, man, it's just not productive to be operating in that fashion, right? Like I do not oppose violence. I do not oppose doing those things against violent people who aggress against you. However, right now in the current narrative, all that's going to do is be counterproductive.
Attention, users of the diabetes drug Actos.
Well, I'm certainly not talking about being violence against them. I'm just saying that.
Are we off?
I want answers.
Are we off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dio. No, I don't think you're talking about being violent, man. Not at all.
Made these drugs.
Fucking that's just my thing, man. Like
You're entitled to.
I was in a fucking cop car. Are we smoking weed? Is that cool? Okay.
Information is
What?
Hey, can we internet high five, dude?
has developed bladder cancer or something worse after taking the diabetes drug.
I really actually thought, I'm just a viewer here, right? I actually really thought that was awesome, Dio, when you called in the car. I did.
I appreciate it.
Man.
I was driving, right, and I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck I gotta wait till I get home? I got my fucking phone is faster than my computer.
4. The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are 1.
All right, Mark.
You're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy this online through shop.lrn.fm. 3.
Speaking of freedom, Porkfest, you gonna be there or what?
Of course.
.fm.
Yeah?
I'll be there from Sunday to Sunday.
Okay, look for us.
Among liberty-oriented groups.
Look for me, dude.
Favorite organization.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to leave the booth too much, but...
Well, are you going to be... Is the CopBlock booth still going to be in site number 1?
No. We're going to... well... I'm...
So what will?
What you call it? I'm like sharing space with Classic Glass.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Derek.
On the Rocks Network, you can make a difference by uniting libertarian thinkers. Find out how much fun.
Yo.
Hey, for FT, you're gonna do FTL at Porkfest, yeah?
Yep. No. Usually at Porkfest there are guests every night.
Yeah, but we are gonna do CopBlockRadio for Porkfest, right?
Yes.
I went last year and I was not overly familiar with Porkfest at the time. I'm sorry, with FTL at the time. Is the way that it works at Porkfest, like, people can go in and instead of call in, like, I can go sit down and talk?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
man.
cool. Sweet.
That'd be cool if we could just be, like, grabbing people up from there. Because I remember last year everybody was just, like, sitting there in front of us watching and shit.
Yeah, man. Wouldn't it be great for live at Porkfest if we could...
Live fucking CopBlockRadio?
Yes. Just
dude, I swear... Kid, I swear to God, you guys are on the schedule for Porkfest.
Yes, we are.
Great.
But that's not a live thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's just like this.
So what are you talking about, Dio, then?
What do you mean?
It's going to be...
Wouldn't it be cool
if we just... Because, like, last year when we did it there... Because I was there last year, and we did it there last year. And, like, there was... It's a big room, and we're sitting in front of a bunch of people. And the people are just sitting there on their computers or watching us or doing whatever. And it would be cool if we gather enough people to get up there in that room. Like, we could just, instead of taking calls and shit, hey, what do you got to say? Come here.
Yo, dude, I have 4 fucking campsites with like 35 people, and I could probably get every single one of them to go in there, dude.
Jesus.
Oh my God, sure, yeah. All right.
Up next, visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide.
We'll talk more later.
Yeah.
.fm. That shows.lrn.
Facebook me your phone number.
CopBlockRadio. Hey, we're back. It's Wednesday, May 27th, 2015. Back from a 2-week vacation, I went down to Philadelphia, Philadelphia, where I am from.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. It's getting better all the time. And I went to see family, and I had a nice, relaxing vacation. I was not contacted by the government, and I am safe. And I believe all of my co-hosts are as well. Did you enjoy our time off, Dio?
Yeah, it was pretty relaxing, but I mean, I was kind of dreading. I was hoping to get some teeth pulled. So when I found out I couldn't do that, I was like, yeah, okay, now I could relax.
This Memorial Day.
And we covered that protest all weekend. We had the Sunday protest. We had a cookout in the Memorial Park across from the Justice Center, and the cops came and tried to shut it down with the fire department. And then when the fire department came and told them that they had nothing on us and that they couldn't shut it down, like an hour or so later, a fire truck came back and they were talking to a bunch of cops and they were like trying to find something else that we were doing that'd make us shut down the barbecue and whatnot. And like me and Adamo and another couple of guys noticed that, and we started going over there and filming them and shit. And there was a couple of the higher ranking cops that didn't want to be on film. And when I sat there and I was listening to what they were saying, and the fireman was going, "There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do." And he's like, "Well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this?" So after a while of listening to this, I was like, "What? Your first attempt at intimidation didn't work? You're gonna try something else now?" So they just kept on trying to ignore. And I told the fireman, I'm like, you're conspiring with these guys to fuck people for no reason, peaceful people. And I went back over to the other side of the street and
you make no bones. You say it straight as it is.
Yes, I do.
React to that.
Yes, I do. They try to ignore me as much as possible. They try to, especially the higher ranking ones, they try to ignore me as much as possible.
Yeah. This guy's just mouthing off. Whatever. We don't.
Yeah, but what I say, they know is fucking true.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just going fuck the cops and I'm like.
Let's watch a video of what Chris Purple Hat did this Memorial Day.
We're about to roll through this checkpoint. That's up ahead. The other sign out. At least the sign's not tipped over this time like it was before.
That's fine.
I'm Officer Benson from the Murfreesboro Police Department. This is the Phillips Ride checkpoint. Have you had anything to drink tonight?
I like the multiple camera angles.
This is the Phillips Ride checkpoint.
I understand
we're
that, but I
conducting
don't have to
the
answer
Phillips
that
Ride
question.
checkpoint to ensure that. Okay, why don't you pull over right there for me? Pull in that parking lot.
In the parking lot?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You actually don't have to.
What's a filter riding checkpoint?
I think she just made that up, honestly.
She did.
No, that's a
Just
thing.
if she tells you get out of the car, just say, am I being detained? Should I turn it?
Well,
I just pull up here, like in these parking spaces.
I don't want to be traffic. Yeah.
I mean, this is fine right here.
So it looks like it's two guys in a truck, like a pickup truck. But there must be a third guy, because Chris Purple Hat posted this video.
Okay. This officer's going to ask you to step out. You need to step out. Step back here to the rear of the car. All right. Take Phil sobriety. Okay.
I don't think so.
Windows up for them because I don't need them freezing to death. Okay. We do need you to step out. Step back here.
Am I being detained?
I need you to provide 3 forms of identification, officer.
What crime have I committed to be detained?
You've been drinking. This is a Phil sobriety checkpoint. Okay. Need you step out of your car.
Hey, you've been drinking? Where'd you get that information?
I've been drinking.
Name and badge number.
You smell it for one. Okay. Like I said, the officer detected it.
Okay.
Step out of the car.
Okay, can I get a name and badge number?
269 Sergeant Cox.
Okay.
Looks like I don't have much of a choice here. No, you can say you're being.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Keep the camera on.
Officer, take care. Guys, I'm gonna roll this window up so you can stay warm.
No, keep it down. We want to hear what's going on, actually.
Okay, no problem. No,
All right.
I just didn't want you guys freeze to death.
I appreciate that,
Say
sir.
one thing, whatever you said the other one, all right?
I appreciate it.
It's no problem.
Where are they? They would freeze to death. You know,
Dude, that's the new thing. They do that like when we cross the street now. Oh, I don't want you to get hurt.
Oh yeah, you're a bunch of children.
Yeah.
You don't know how to roll up a window yourself.
He's at this point. He's like, what the hell? I got myself into.
I have been crossing the street for a long time. Thank you very much.
Where they grab people down and take their blood without their consent.
We don't want you. We don't want you to hurt the road, sir.
All right, reactions. This video is 1/3 of the way through. We've got 3 guys in a truck. The driver is assumed to be drinking by the police, who are doing a Memorial Day field sobriety checkpoint, as they called it, which I think is a thing. I know it sounds ridiculous, but anyway. And they said that he's drinking because they could smell it on his breath, and now they're going to do a test of him. Apparently there's a trailer nearby too. So what are your reactions?
How did they come to the determination that he was drinking? He only had the damn window rolled down low enough to talk to him, so it's not like they could really smell anything. So where'd they get that information from?
Okay, like fucking umpteenth amendments apply, I suppose. if you're going to make the statist argument, if that was me, I suppose I would comply up until the point of acknowledging the person speaking to me, but I would not provide anything that I deemed unlawful based under the constitutional protections that were deemed as ridiculous as that is based on Lysander Spooner's fucking Constitution of No Authority, for example.
I'd have a hard time even getting out the fucking car.
I'm not going to get out of the fucking car.
I know, right?
Look, if I see a checkpoint, I'm going to turn around. I don't even care if there's a median. I'm going to drive right over the thing, and I'm not going to go through that.
I go through them, so I mean.
if I'm going to go through it, I'm going to try to make a good time out of it and make a fun video out of it and stuff like that. However, I've really come to the determination that's a little too dangerous for me to be enterprising with these people. And it's safer for me to just get out of New Dodge City, to be honest.
I could see the point.
Well, I'm waiting for the checkpoint video of people going through in stormtrooper outfits, like Jedi outfits or something.
Derek J's victimless crime spree to the failed fucking empire, right there.
You know how clutch that video would be? It would go so good.
You want to know some shit?
Sobriety checkpoint.
I haven't seen a checkpoint around here in Cleveland since shit. I mean, like Medina was the last one. It's like they don't do them around here no more.
I've never seen a checkpoint in Rhode Island in my life.
Oh wow,
good for you.
They happen in New Hampshire. Apparently, we get federal money. Well, I say we. How
much did you get, Derek?
Yeah, I don't get a cut. I must have got lots in the mail. They get federal money for doing these checkpoints, and really it's not so much about filling up the prisons and ruining people's lives as much as it is collecting information about individuals. Like, they take your license plate. They don't care how many arrests they get. They don't get money for that. They get $signs for the number of license plates that they collect for the FedGov. They want to know where you've been.
Think
about that.
They're tracking you.
CopBlockRadio.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the liberty every day.
Yeah, Free Talk Live. I love that show.
Are you guys gonna get fucking Chris Cantwell back or what, man? I know. I think it's pretend, right?
No, it's for real. Dude,
I know it's for real. I know it's
not mess with terrestrial radio. It will ruin your life forever.
But he's like Ian and Mark and Chris are in talks, right?
What do you mean in talks?
You know what I mean, Derek J.
No, what does that mean?
I don't know. Like they're talking about it and trying to, I don't know, make fucking no.
No way. Once you say something,
I understand the severity there. I do.
I don't, because that's what I was talking about on the show today. I was like, are there any other words that are like this, where if you say them, your life is over and you...
No, look, I'll say nigger, cunt, faggot, nigger, motherfucker all day long. Not on air.
Well, you're not on LRN, but, I mean, we're on YouTube.
But I understand that, like, these Ian and Mark and you, well, I don't know about you, but I know you fucking co-host, right? Like Like, they have a business and a fucking company, and they have advertisements, and if Cantwell is like a notarized, I don't know, notarized is the word, but like is a noticed co-host on the show every Wednesday and more than that, and he's saying nigger all over the webs, then that's going to hurt like some of the advertisements that they have. And
you can't say that. Even on this show, I mean, look at, we already got called, what was the thing that Straight Razor was reading out for us? Call it what it is. CopBlock is a...
he's a racist at least.
Yeah. It's a hate group.
Racist hate group, something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need help in that department.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I can see Michael's point too with the censorship and stuff. That's like, I mean, I come from the George Carlin school of it, so it's like, you know, to me, just it's not the words in and of themselves are not what's wrong.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter if he said nigger. It doesn't matter if he said flower or fucking.
Okay, you can stop saying it and stop fucking celebrating it now, all right?
Camo Croc, it doesn't matter. It's Mark and Ian's company, and for whatever reason that they want to stop somebody from promoting a message is on them. Like it doesn't matter to me. I like Cantwell in the show. I like Derek J in the show. But if they want to cut people for whatever reason, okay, that's on them. That's their business. I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah. I don't know.
No, well, go ahead. No, I would like to know, Derek. I would like to know.
No, I decided to hold my tongue.
You almost did it though.
Yeah.
I just for me, I understand the true meaning, especially like when it comes to of that word. You know, like I understand the true meaning of that, and I use it correctly when I use it.
I don't use that word unless I'm explaining something that somebody else has said. I don't even use that fucking word, right?
I mean, well, that's my whole point right there. See, because my favorite way to use it is to use Eddie Murphy's old line, right? When he did the Delirious concert, he said to his uncle Gus, you know, give a nigger rope, want to be a cowboy. So when I say that, when I say that, okay, and people look at me and go, I go, fuck you, I'm quoting Eddie Murphy.
I don't think that this is the best topic to be talking about on air.
We got 5 seconds.
No, my God.
What happens to Chris Purple Hat 1991 on YouTube? We are watching his video of a DUI checkpoint. Police caught lying on camera. Well, it's happening more and more, especially as people like you, the listener, pull out your camera phones and start recording when the police interact with you in any respect. If they're even in your geographic region, as Michael Freeman puts it, pull out your camera and record. And in this case, the video artist got multiple angles. So let's return to this video, guys, and continue to provide some commentary. There's about 2 minutes left, and apparently the cops are going to get caught in a lie, so here we go. Right now they've got one guy pulled out, and they're apparently doing a field sobriety test on him to determine whether or not he's drunk, so I would imagine that would involve...
Keep in mind, he has not drank at all, and they said they smelled alcohol on him, so they're obviously lying.
Ah.
Hey, can I ask you a question real quick?
No.
Oh, don't.
Hey, what's a field sobriety checkpoint? That's
Don't
a new
engage
one.
them.
Say again. What's a field sobriety checkpoint? The female officer identified as a field sobriety checkpoint. What is that?
So it's fine, so you get
Okay.
What did you say?
He said she'll explain.
What do you say?
She'll explain it.
Oh.
Basically, a bullshit answer. I'm not going to answer your question.
Keep going.
Alright, so we gotta find a place to park.
Alright, stay warm. What's got? Okay,
Yes,
number one,
As officers, when you
No,
became
just
officers,
go.
did you not
Don't engage
swear
them
an
in
oath to
conversation.
uphold the Constitution?
Oath to uphold the
We uphold
Constitution.
the law.
Boo.
Okay, these are deemed to be legal in the state of Tennessee. Okay, and anytime you enter a checkpoint, the officer just says that the odor of alcohol comes from the car. Okay, which you said you've been drinking. Doesn't mean
Okay,
you're
tell me the Supreme Court said it's legal, please.
had to. Okay,
That's what I love that answer.
then we're gonna.
All right, we're about halfway through this video, and I'm getting a little mad at the cop blocker here. The guy who was not the cop blocker because he's not video recording. He's the gentleman, the victim of the police in this situation. He has been set free. He is free to go.
So go.
Go! Get out of there. Get somewhere safe. You want to record? You want to engage the police? Do it on your own terms, on your own turf,
on foot,
in the time and place of your choosing.
And
Don't
Derek,
let them determine the time and place. They've already got you in a corner. They've already got you complying with all of their demands up to this point. Now is not the time to engage. You're not in a powerful position.
and Derek, that was my entire point earlier tonight. He has the opportunity to get out of New Dodge City, get away from this violent aggressor who's only there to do him harm or extort money from him violently, and he was given the opportunity to leave and get away, yet he continues to engage. That is the mistake. I totally agree with you.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I could see that.
Not it hurt him. Hopefully not. It might have had no impact at all. But generally, if you want to be safe and not end up arrested, I think it would be wise to let the confrontations happen at the time and place of your choosing rather than theirs.
But didn't the one guy said go find a parking spot, right? I mean, so he was trying to get his buddy to go like come back on foot, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Here's the video. Let's return to their conversation with the police officer through the window.
Pull you out of the car. All right, talk to you for a minute. Conduct a series field sobriety test. If you're not intoxicated, you're free to go. If you're intoxicated, then unfortunately, we have to do our job, which is enforce the law and arrest you for DUI. As you can see, got you out, gave you a couple real quick tests. Okay, we've been courteous, been kind, we're cutting you loose. You're ready to go.
I have a question for you, sir.
One last question. How much did this Freedom trailer here cost the American?
Not sure, sir. It's not our trailer. So
Not sure. I didn't get the bill.
That would be Smyrna.
Smyrna, and they are here in Murfreesboro city limits.
No,
Why?
they're not in Murfreesboro city limits. They are here tonight working with us, yes, in coalition with the THP. The way that works is they can be here, and we use their equipment because they fall under the jurisdiction of the state. Okay, as long as we're helping them, we can do that.
Okay, I'll have to check on that. And
He's
one
just
last
given a bunch
time,
of
name
alphabet
and badge number,
agencies.
please.
Officer Benson, 866.
866.
You mind if I ask you a really quick question?
Sergeant Cox, 269. No, go ahead, sir.
I mean, the first one is the signs are placed after you pass the sign. There's nowhere to turn off, so you're supposed to have the option to avoid once you see the sign.
There actually is a turnaround. Okay,
coming westbound.
The law's very clear. Okay, if you do a U-turn and you turn around and you go back, as long as you do it
legally,
correctly and legally, we can't stop you.
Okay.
Okay. So you do have that option. Okay. That is written in the law.
That's pretty
Okay,
cool.
I didn't know that. I appreciate that.
No, sir.
The last question I have is: do you feel this is right? I mean, you feel this is
That should, okay, this should be the first question. Okay, this should be the first question. That is why this is why I'm complaining when I said boo to, like, didn't you swear an oath to uphold the Constitution? Stinks. I've heard it. It goes nowhere.
They don't give a fuck.
It doesn't.
They don't. Yeah, they don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
They
No.
don't.
So what you got to aim for
It's
is
just
this
words to get the job.
question: is this right? Because everybody knows that there are dumb laws. That
In either case, it doesn't fucking matter, right? If there's one thing that this state is good at, it's breaking their own laws. It doesn't matter. These arguments of the Constitution, these arguments that these what do you call them, 3%ers or sovereign citizens make are bullshit. It doesn't matter. You can't use the state to beat the state. They're never going to allow that to happen.
They don't care.
Well, it's not even that, right, Derek? Isn't the principles? That's what I don't get about it, right? Because aren't the principles that, like, say the Bill of Rights, right? That's written out in a certain way, but don't you agree that those are your rights as a natural human being anyway?
I don't care what someone else.
Yeah, I know that, but don't you believe that you have all those same rights, right?
Fuck no. I don't believe that I have rights. I don't believe in rights. I have absolutely no empirical reason to believe that rights even exist.
Well, I wasn't fucking talking to you in the first place, but...
All right, sorry.
I have the rights that I can exercise. I have rights so much as I can flex them. That's what I say.
I guess I'm not saying properly what my question is.
Yeah, what is your point?
You believe we have, what, the ability to free speech? You believe, what, I mean...
Yeah.
Like, you don't go by any... Like, you go by something, a moral code of your own, don't you?
Yeah, so I have a moral standard that,
we have the right to, well, the right, I can't even say right anymore because I'm saying the wrong fucking word.
Dio, I like to say the ownership, right?
Okay, you have the ownership of free speech, right? So you can say what you want. You can fucking, you know the consequences for what you say, and you can say what you want, correct?
yeah, I try and follow the golden rule in all times and situations. I think that's as simply put as I can make it.
You believe you have the ownership to defend yourself, right?
Well, I own myself, yeah, so I make the decisions about how to protect my life.
To arm yourself, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I was born with fingernails and teeth and ways to...
Exactly. So all I'm trying to say is that the way I look at it is that this document called the Constitution may not be worth the fucking paper it's printed on, right? But it sure does articulate exactly the way I feel about what I feel I am able and I'm have the ownership to do.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Actually, I have something hanging up on my wall that I think does a better job. I'll take it down. Have you guys heard about the Shire Society?
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of it. Only in this to say that I've heard the name and everything. I don't really know too much else about it.
I've got right here the Shire Society Declaration, which I signed in 2012. And it's basically an abbreviated version of the Bill of Rights. If you want to see your own copy of this, check it out at shiresociety.com. You can even sign a digital copy of it, and it's got only 5 planks. See what you think. Do you agree with these planks? It sounds so communist when I put it that way. But really, it's just about owning yourself and building a moral philosophy on top of that. This is CopBlockRadio. We'll be right back for the final segment.
I love my
You know, that's the tough part about being involved to me in like a liberty movement or anything like that is articulating things that I mean. You know, because I only have the basis of what I've learned my whole life. So,
dude, I thought you were. I actually kind of thought you were good. My whole basis is like, look, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to outside of anybody else's principles, ideals, beliefs, whatever.
Yeah, but you're not running around murdering people for no reason.
Until I aggress against somebody else, I have done no harm to anyone. No matter what I do.
Right.
I'm free to harm myself. I'm free to do whatever the fuck I want to. And until I hurt you, there's no boo, I think. Right?
Yeah, but that's not reality.
Well, no. Nope. And that's why we're here, right?
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm trying to say is that, like I said, it's difficult to articulate it because it's not the same wordage. It's not the same vocabulary. You know?
Yeah,
it almost seems to me like the same principle, but not the same vocabulary. I relate it to.
That's okay.
Look,
I'm pretty sure that Dio and Derek are not going to fucking point guns at me. Like, I'm pretty sure that, like, at Porkfest, the three of us are probably going to smoke a bowl together and fucking argue and disagree and, like, get all fucking pissed off, and that's going to be amazing. Like,
hopefully not. Hopefully we don't get pissed off.
Okay, maybe not pissed off, but I would love to argue with you guys, right? I love to philosophize and I don't know, argue. I love that shit.
Philosophize, yeah, argue.
Yeah.
I don't think it always has to be an argument, but.
Well, no, I kind of enjoy a good argument. I do.
There's there's just certain things that we can all agree on. I think like it's,
I don't know. I find more fun in disagreeing and figuring out the silver lining.
You're wrong, goddammit! I'm telling you right now.
All right, Cantwell, chill out. But like I like to I don't know. I like I like to butt heads. I philosophically, I think it's a good time. I like to argue. I do.
Why don't you take your logic and go to bed?
I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to sleep the entire week of Corkfest, actually, but okay. I only went 4 days last week, and I was awake the whole time.
Yeah, it's really hard.
I had sex with my girlfriend in front of people and did drugs that I had never done. It was the best experience of my whole life.
You had sex with your girlfriend in front of people?
We're off air, right?
Well, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, even the commercial breaks do get recorded. So.
Nope, that never happened. I take that back.
Wow.
What happens at Fort Best?
Hey, Derek, can you delete that, please? Really?
I mean, yeah, but it's annoying. I don't want
Well, I'm if you know, I'm gonna delete out right now.
You'll do it for me. You can rip the video, cut that part out, and then send me or just re-upload the file or send the file to me, and I'll accept that.
Okay, don't worry about it.
I don't want the extra labor of doing that.
All right. I would have thrown you like a silver quarter, but okay.
I missed it.
What?
I don't know. Michael cut out. I didn't.
I was like, I would have thrown you a silver quarter, but okay.
That's all right. It's not worth it. I don't want to do it.
Oh my God! Fuck yourself, dude.
You can watch the
Just watch your mouth
and chat with other listeners anytime at Cam.
Is my mic okay?
FM. That's Cam.
Yeah, sounds good.
LRN.FM.
Final segment of Cop Block Radio for tonight. But you can leave us a message by calling anytime. 413-418-COPS. We want to know what you have to say about the police. It could be anything. We covered many things tonight. Dio, you were there for the 77 arrests in Cleveland this week for the ridiculous verdict that the murderous cops will once again face no charges and no consequences. We also talked with Michael Freeman of many podcasts and shows on Voluntarist Virtues Network. You can check him out at, what is your website again?
I actually do not have a website, but you can catch me on The Currency of Anarchy on the Voluntary Virtues Network, and my own podcast is Abolishing Authority.
All right. And for the final segment, we return to the happy ending of the DUI checkpoint video produced by Chris Purple Hat.
I would just like to say on this too that I find it's quite appalling that these cops, right? They all know the Supreme Court ruling when it comes to making the checkpoints legal, right? But they don't know the Supreme Court ruling when it comes to giving them the finger, right?
Well, I'm sure that their police chiefs are very selective about their training.
You don't need to know that.
Arbitrarily pull everyone
I don't
over.
make the laws, I just enforce them.
I don't make the laws, I just enforce them.
The laws are written a certain way. All I can do is those laws.
Okay, and when I was growing up, I wanted to be a police officer, and I never in a million would I ever envision myself sitting on a cold roadway, just arbitrarily questioning people. I've done nothing wrong. I can't imagine.
And that's why you didn't become a cop. Because
It's as simple as this. How are you doing today? My name is Sergeant Cox. Conducting a field spray checkpoint. Got anything to drink? No. If I don't detect the odor of alcohol, say have a good night. We move you on through.
We haven't been drinking, so I don't know where the odor came from. Though. I mean, that just boggles my mind that she smelled alcohol.
Okay. So nobody in the truck's been drinking at all?
No.
Okay. I have a field sobriety test kit in the car, and if you'd be willing to take one, I'd be willing to get out and take one.
Hey, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind.
Hey, I don't like that. Okay, so that cop thought he got one over on all those kids because they said that they hadn't been drinking, and he was like, "Oh, well, I've got some field sobriety checkpoints."
he's like, I think I told you you're gonna get out the car.
Just things he won because they didn't submit to a field sobriety checkpoint, and he's just presuming that they were all drunk or something.
Yeah, and then next comes the fucking dogs. Like
I love
we
it.
know.
I love it with the okay too. Okay. And he's like, it reminds me of Idiocracy with the peppers. That's enough of your bullshit, sir.
Anyway, back to this video.
Hey,
Damo crashes the last 10 minutes of Cop Block. What's up, everybody?
Damo!
Oh, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? How are you?
Man.
What's up, dude?
We're watching a video. Want to provide some commentary on this?
He can't.
I can hear you. I can hear it.
Let's talk about this part. We have our signs, and we're making our way back to the checkpoint, which is that way, where we just got stopped and detained because one of the cops lied. So we're gonna go back and see if we can help some people not get harassed.
Hell yeah. So that guy on the far right is Chris.
Yeah, look, he's
Voluntarius. This is his YouTube channel.
Yep, and we were just told that you can legally turn around. He just went after that car that legally turned around.
Yep, that's their MO. They do that shit all the time.
We have the right to do that. Look at this.
See that all over Ohio.
Sometimes we get lucky and we can chase them down.
Around too, to avoid this checkpoint. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we have no vantage
But
point. We have here an unlawful checkpoint conducted by the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Murfreesboro Police Department, with their Freedom Wagon over there, where they do forced blood draws. This is a sobriety checkpoint, which is unlawful. We've already been through the checkpoint, where they blatantly lied to us and forced me to take a sobriety test.
oh, that guy's turning around. Look, he's turning around, and I bet the THP is going to go after him. Watch. That guy right there.
All right, so in the state of Tennessee,
Look, there he goes.
And they're off.
There he is.
What shitbags?
I can hear over the radio already. Woo!
After we got out here, it looks like they're shutting it down.
He turned around, Jim. I think I got one.
Yep, shutting it down. Maybe our signs did the trick.
Hey, I've got a question for you.
It's them goddamn Duke boys again.
I got a question for you. We were told over there that people have the right to turn around as long as they do it legally. But I've seen you guys go after people that turn around. Do we not have the right?
Once they enter the checkpoint, they can't turn around.
Right, but before the checkpoint, and I saw you guys go after them, do they not have the right to turn around like we were told?
And even drive fast,
yeah.
Cannot avoid our checkpoint.
Not past the checkpoint, though.
But it's past the sign that identifies.
You're not going to get
Right, but you
anywhere
warned that there's a
arguing with
checkpoint
these
ahead.
guys.
They have the right to turn
Hello.
around.
Once they enter the checkpoint, past no sign, they can't turn around.
All right, here's my unsolicited
sign there for?
advice to Chris
If
Purple
they-
Hat. We're done with
What's
this
the sign
video.
there for? If they can read. So you guys are lying. You guys are lying.
All
Yeah,
right,
okay.
we got it. Okay, good. Enough. Here's my unsolicited advice to Chris Purple Hat. A+ at filming this and getting it out there and having multiple camera angles. A++++. You're the best. Number 2, it could have been a little shorter. 9 minutes or whatever. Runs a little long for videos, but what am I to say? This is over almost 250,000 views at this point in just a couple of days. But then I'm just giving you advice on the internet, which is whatever. Then
Yeah, my advice is make a short video like you're mentioning, and then you can put up like the raw or a longer clip too, you know, because like you mentioned, folks like the quick shots.
right, and then arguing with the police in the dark goes nowhere at the end of your video. I like having this like climax of okay, then you get released or something, you know, from the checkpoint. That was a good happy ending there. But then arguing, you won by making this video. You don't need to make the arguments to the police. You're not going to get anywhere with them. I mean, in my opinion, there could be different videos where you're trying to talk to the police and influence their opinions on their behavior. But here, I don't think you're going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. There's very few times where I actually think it's worthwhile talking to the cops. In fact, I was just mentioning this when we were out covering the Burlow protest. A lot of the cops in those scenarios, or like if you look at my YouTube channel and see my conversation with the Indianapolis police, that cop was stalling us all night from walking around to film other police. So that it's like a tactic. Because I could tell we weren't getting anywhere and we were going round by round. So I guess it's probably a mixture of both. That A, you're just not going to break through to them, and B, they're stalling you. But yet in Warren, Ohio, here a couple weeks ago, I was pulled over for stopping where I could see, which was after the stop sign, because the government doesn't do anything right, and so I couldn't stop where they wanted me to and cross the intersection safely. So I stopped where I could see, and I got stopped because they said I ran the stop sign. And I totally own these guys. Me and Jason and Adam, another guy, were in the car. We just laughed at them and filmed them, and then they didn't even give me a ticket, and they left. But they came back, and the guy was like, I want to ask you about CopBlock, off the record, like, no big, like, do you guys want to talk to me? And he was actually receptive, so we did take 5 minutes and chit-chat with him, and I felt it was worth it, until his friends rolled up and thought they were on a traffic stop and then realized that they were actually talking to us, and then they wanted to leave. They might get in trouble with their little buddies, but I felt it was worthwhile talking to.
That's really cool. That's a good story because, I would inherently be skeptical of any police officer who wanted to talk to me off the record. I'd be like,
Oh, no, excuse me. He meant consensual. He didn't mean off the record. We rolled cameras. I got footage of it at my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, not off the record. I apologize. I misspoke. He meant consensually. He was trying to let us know that he wasn't going to investigate us, that he was really curious about CopBlock. And so I agree with you. I'm always skeptical when the cops approach me. But how this guy did it, he was the guy who had just stopped us, him and his partner. We went and filmed another traffic stop. They waited for it to end and came back and said that thing. So we did, instead of rushing back to the car and going and filming the next stop, we spent a few moments with him.
We had the guy in Medina too, that Ventura, that wanted to talk with us also. We got that whole conversation on tape too, or on camera.
Cool hats. Where can I get one?
At the CopBlock.org/store. Have a bunch of them in stock, ready to go.
That's right, fitted. They got the CopBlock logo here and the logo here and the URL on the back. My bad. I'm going backwards.
And they are slick. Hey, this has been a very special episode of CopBlock Radio. I want to thank all of our listeners and special guests today, Michael Freeman.
Thanks for doing it, Mike.
Hell yeah, man. He's awesome.
And
maybe we make it a regular.
For sharing his very important news of termination for being a good guy. There are some good cops out there. They're just getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
You should ask Straight Razor next time if we can flip them off.
We'll see you again next week.
Since time began.
Getting fired.
What was that?
Wait, Straight Razor's getting fired?
Straight Razor's getting fired.
Send him a T-shirt.
Dude, that is so fun. I can't believe that I had that conversation with that dude, and he did not try to fucking attack me. Like, I understand that I played my like veteranism card or whatever it is, right? But I directly told that dude that what he was doing is fucking crazy and violent and shit, and he was like, "Yeah, I know."
It pays well. Crazy and violent pays $32,000 a year.
Whatever, bro. I was there too, man. Like I went to war fucking 2.5 times, right? And dude, it looks like dude's about to get out of there and come be free with us. So
free, yeah, man. You take that skill and put it to use, man. Fucking find people's lost goods and damage fucking property, people who did it and shit. Like fucking work it out.
He said
was basically that guy, the only one on the force who was doing the hard work.
He starts his own business in private protection. I'll advertise his shit on my personal blogs for a year.
Hell yeah, dude.
He was talking about maybe starting his own kind of business. He was saying he didn't say what kind.
Starting his own business.
He said he was into maybe doing a business. Anyway, hey, this has been fun. I want to say goodbye to our YouTube audience and good night. It has been a very special episode, and thank you for joining us. Good night.
Thanks, Derek.
Mwah. Good night, Theo.